Salutations, glorious Ashes of Creation community. Today we are doing our development update as we do every month, and we're so excited to have you all join us. Welcome everyone, and today we have a whole bunch of new people to show off some really cool things about with our team. Steven's looking at all of them, they're all waiting patiently. But first we'll kind of introduce ourselves. I'm Margaret Krohn, I'm your community and marketing lead here, and with me as always is...
I am Steven Sharif, I'm the creative director.
Yeah.
On Ashes.
Starting strong!
Sorry.
Are you the creative director? I don't know.
am indeed.
I am Jeffrey Bard. I am the lead designer. Good seeing you guys.
Yeah.
Hello,
so
friends.
today, just to kind of give you what we're going to go over, if you're new to our stream and you haven't watched these before, we are going to have people from our team joining us. We have a development update from our engineering team. Our engineering team actually has a video for you all this time.
Yeah.
Design, character art, and environment art. So we kind of have the whole slew of the crew. And then we also gathered questions from the community. And our international team as well has submitted some questions. So... we have some quick updates. We'll go through those really fast, and then we'll move forward with all of our development stuff, because that's what y'all want to see.
Hi everybody. Check out the new set and the new graphics. Look at the guys having new haircuts. Margaret looks nice in her new sweater. I think it's because in my last Twitchcast I looked like a slob. I keep forgetting that people are going to see me and that I'm not just sitting at home making videos, and then I don't dress up. Roger says hi too. That's my pet cockatiel. As usual, I'm going to break the Twitchcast up into chunks for your viewing pleasure. Some people don't have an hour to watch an entire Twitchcast. And as usual, I'm going to stay out of it as much as possible so that you can enjoy the show. I'll be back at the end with a quick summary.
Of course, we have one other thing that we're going to announce too, which is our winners of our Kittens and Puppies.
Yes.
Our Kickstarters voted on this, and the winners are the Dogget and the Peacat. So there you go. Mad shout out to, I don't know if you noticed, but we have lots of new graphics. I finally have a senior graphics designer on my team. I'm so excited. But he also made this awesome graphic. That trophy he made, it has like cat tail and little cat ears and little cat whiskers.
I saw that. That's awesome.
You need to have that.
But you know,
I
where
think
is the dog representation on the ribbon?
I know, I was like, we need a bone, but we didn't have enough time, so.
Wow.
Yeah,
This studio
sorry.
is way lopsided on the cat team.
I'd agree. That dog deserved to win.
But you know what's
I'm a
funny
dog.
is Mike also has a dog, so you know it weighs out.
Dogs are the superior species.
Yeah, Steven has a couple dogs.
I'm sorry.
I do have a lot of pictures of his dog in my in my camera roll. If you look at it, it's pretty funny. So yeah, that was the vote that y'all voted on. So thank you so much to everybody who did that and voted. And we really enjoyed seeing everyone fighting for it. The dog barely won because the husky was like 4 votes away. 4 votes away. So I think
It was a tight race.
we need to do something with
We
the
were
husky
nail biting here.
down the line for
Yeah.
sure. After seeing that, so thank you all for doing that. Share with you. Unbelievable.
Welcome, Alexi. Or Alex, sorry.
I know.
You know,
He has Alex on his stuff, so I put Alex.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
I have to separate.
Alexi.
So introduce yourself. Talk about what you do on our team.
Sure. My name is Alex, as you know. I'm a programmer. I've been working here for at least 2 years now.
Yeah.
I think I've touched pretty much every system.
One of our
And
star programmers, by the way, Alexi has a very wide field of capabilities as a generalist, and he touches a lot of gameplay stuff too. So he gets the fun stuff.
So you'll probably be seeing him on this stream maybe in the future as well. Also, all the other programmers were like, "How'd you get Alex to get on?"
No.
He's like, nah, I'm fine. And
Yeah.
if you watched some of the D&D stuff that you guys have or Pathfinder stuff that you guys have done, Alex was on those
That's
streams,
right. The last Extra Life. You played with us for a little
I
bit.
played a paladin.
Yes,
for
a paladin.
brief 6 hours.
A very strong paladin.
Brief 6 hours.
Okay, you missed the risk game.
But yeah, let's talk about
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, exactly.
let's talk about what your team has been up to.
Team been up to many things. I've been working on castle sieges, mechanics, other like Mark and other like Kevin was working on pulling for servers so that they stood up faster. I mean, it's a lot of things we are wrapping up, and a lot of things we're still developing for MMO, like networking. We have a few people working on right now. Yeah, that's
A lot of fun stuff.
a lot of fun stuff.
Also, a lot of bug crushing
Oh yeah,
as
that's
well.
true.
Yeah.
A lot of bug crashing.
Yeah.
Fast iteration.
And
heard that the
optimization.
I heard that the QA team was happy with like how hard you guys are working on all those bugs.
true.
So in our last leads meeting, so that was nice.
This is
So,
true.
yeah.
You guys have been hammering
Yeah.
through some bugs.
So good
That's
job.
great. Yeah, thanks. Oh,
And then of course optimization and performance stuff. Right?
Oh yeah, optimization performance is a big thing for us, and then we've been doing a lot of benchmarks with different specs, making sure that our effects are on point, that doesn't spawn a million different meshes, that hitches you for a few seconds, and the big hitters. That's been looking at.
I think one of the great things about optimization and the scalability settings that engineering has provided is just the range of rigs that we want to be able to run on, right? From the literal potatoes to the supercomputers, and actually getting to see just how crazy awesome a lot of the art is and the graphics are in the game. If you want that really high-end thing, or if you want to run super performant, then you can play the potato.
So let's first talk about, I think you've been working on like the castle control points and the channeling tech for that stuff. So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit more about that.
For the past few months I've been working on control points, and so basically there's a lot of things that go in the control points, and we want to make it as modular as possible so that when we take them, we can apply them in Castle Siege mode or Castle Siege in MMO. So there is no work that basically is wasted. And then big important thing in that is that to make sure that we have designers be able to work with it, animators, special effects guys. So there's a lot of things going on for a programmer, for example, that needs to be able to put in different hooks. So for example, like when someone runs in, what do we expect it to happen? It's like, we should probably send an event to our effects artist, say, hey, here's an event, you should probably hook and put your effects here. For a sound artist, sound designer too, same thing. And there's different functionality control points have, right? You can have a person run in and stand there and wait for, like a domination style. It's like for a few seconds and it becomes yours.
And you have like a
And then there is a pop out for a UI artist saying, hey, this zone has been flipped, and now do something about it, right?
Yeah.
Also, part of that objective-based system that you've been coding has also been the unique buffs that each objective
Correct.
can have.
Oh yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So like if defender, for example, gets and then conquers it, all the defenders will receive this buff. Another thing, also the different styles of objective, right? Maybe someone needs to come up to it and channel it uninterruptedly for 10 to 20 seconds. And the whole thing, every time we program these kind of modules, we always need to be design friendly so that every small detail can be tweaked by design.
Right.
And it's very important because during our testing, we're more dynamic and iterative.
Yeah, the other cool thing about the objective system, as you're coding it, is the way we've designed objectives to work in the game is a little bit different than how we've previously seen objectives in other games. Whereas, there's pretty much in other games I played where you have objectives, the objectives all are the same, right? You capture it, you get some score in the benefit. There's maybe a win condition with the objective capture. With our objectives, they have strategic bonuses to each one that's on the field. So, as these engagements are happening, there are real objectives that will actually influence your team and your abilities on the field that you're going to be needing to strategically decide how you're going to move your raid towards those different objectives. Those are pretty cool to see too.
Correct. Yeah, and then one of the things is also like if you can't capture it for the first time, maybe you get a bonus, not only buff but duration of the match itself.
Right.
Let's say
being
if you
able
have
to
a limit.
influence your opponent's respawn, your own
Correct.
respawn, your channel times, all kind of get added into that reward for capturing these objectives.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of variables you have to keep track of, which is fun.
Yeah, for sure.
And then the next thing you wanted to kind of go over was the player character response, like the locations, the rules, and the types.
Correct. Like for example, in standard MMO, we have many respawn points that you can spawn. For example, Castle Siege, we want to make sure that since we have two teams, we have two opposite sides of respawn. And whenever you die, there is a choice whether like we can code it up so that you click a button and then you respawn immediately, or you just wait and until a certain duration has passed, and then everyone who has died like respawn immediately.
Together,
they pull together and then they're ready to attack the castle together instead of streaming one by one.
And obviously, you know, you guys have probably seen that in other games that you've had, you know, team-based battles in. You know, the pooling is beneficial because you don't want your, you know, teammates to trickle out one by one and die.
And then one at a time die, like
Right.
feeding into the enemy.
So it's definitely beneficial, you know, to have those systems in place where you have those options.
And then another thing, if we decide to have more than one respawn point, basically it's up to engineering team to figure out what's the closest respawn point, for example, or give you a prompt saying, hey, I want to respawn at this point instead of that point.
Right.
So that's
And having
also,
the UI hooks to be able to do that, right? Yeah.
It's and then building it modular too, so that you can reapply the same logic for other events like MMO regular respawn points and arena respawn points when we have arenas and stuff like that. Yeah.
So it'd be really cool to kind of see, you know, some of this graphically. I know that you have a video.
That one was more towards
a little while ago. You were playing with the siege weapons.
Yeah, siege weapons, which I was about to
We
go
will
over.
maybe show some of the capture point stuff later down the line, but I think the first thing that you wanted to show was the weapons and the siege vehicles, and you have a video. So we'll kind of show those off, and we can talk over them as we're showing them. So go ahead and walk us through. Oh,
Oops,
that's
wrong
not
one.
it. Sneak peek to something in the future.
Oh no.
There we go.
There you go.
This is your work on
So
it,
explain
right?
to us a little bit about what goes into coding some of the functionality behind siege weapons during sieges.
So first of all, you need to create a base class in code that says, hey, I'm gonna code vehicles, right? And it's gonna be your base modular class that you will be reusing later on for blueprints. And let's say we're gonna have more than just one vehicle trebuchet. You can basically use this as a base and expand on top of later on. So for example, for trebuchets, I had a regular trebuchet that you can drive, and then I coded up a trebuchet that allows you to add some physics fun.
So that, just so you guys know, that's a little bit of physics fun where, you know, they're not being destroyed, but they're getting thrown across the map.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's more polish that'll be going into this. So,
Yeah. You guys are seeing works in progress. Make sure.
So, like for example, we have two trebuchets, which one is a stationary and one is one you can drive yourself, and you can kind of pan your camera and you can zoom in, zoom out, and then your primary fire currently it's firing. And when you code it up, you need to also make it flexible for designers. For example, let's say we want to have a different kind of projectile for this mode, or a different projectile for, like, let's say we decide to create a battle ram, right? It's going to be more close range projectile that people can.
You didn't quite make it there.
Yeah, second try. I think second try will work. And then after that, I moved on to ballistas, which you see right now, which are stationary, kind of like full control. You can use the camera first person. You're able to, you know, do the firing range.
Things like a Gatling gun.
Yeah, exactly. And then right now you don't see like the ammo because I think it's spawning a little bit above because we're still debugging it. But basically it will spawn a projectile when you fire it, and then we have to set different firing rate, reload rate, how much ammo it should consume if there is any. Is it infinite ammo, right? Additionally, we coded up modularly to have different firing states. So let's say you don't want to just fire one at a time. Let's say it's a Gatling gun, you want to fire 10 at a time, right?
Yeah.
Or like the mode of, you know, super powerful that requires you 10 seconds in reload, right? And those are mode will be supported by code, where design will come in and say, hey, I want to have 3 modes, 4 modes, 5 modes, and then these are the keys that you go between them.
And part of your, you know, your coding practice is to give those tools to design so that they don't have to come back to code all the time necessarily. Correct. But, you know, they can make rare, you know, trebuchets or rare, you know, specific data that's different.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, and I know our animators and our artists have been working on like models for like the little bucket that you're going to sit in as well as a character.
So those are the companion, So there are some other trebuchets that have companion seats potentially,
Exactly,
where your players on your team can sit in these seats and have their own little like crossbow gun on the trebuchet to defend it.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it'll
That
be
is
good
gonna be
stuff.
fun.
So, anything else that you want to like chat with everybody about?
No, I mean,
You know,
yeah,
a funny story. I'm gonna tell you a
Oh,
funny
boy.
story. No, what? It's just a funny story.
Alex is
So
like, "Oh."
Alex's game name, game handle is Slurpee. And Alex and I actually first met in ArcAge about like what, 7 or 8 years ago,
Somewhere
right?
around, yeah.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 years ago.
Alex is a wee baby.
No, he was. That's
Wee
right.
baby, wee baby.
No, he was
Alex.
working at Amazon
Yeah.
as a programmer at Amazon at the time. But anyway, so Alex had a guild in ArcAge that was primarily around like mercenary services, escorting people's trade goods, and like their halls and whatnot. And he joined, his guild merged into our guild, and he became one of my commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I decided to start Intrepid, Alex is like, I code, I fly.
I code, I fly.
I'm bored.
So that's a funny story. And actually, Alex's girlfriend, Sam, we recruited her in ArcAge to the guild as well. So it's just, in my opinion, that story just kind of reflects on how, the gamerness inside Intrepid is strong. And you guys know these stories because you're a part of, guilds, and these things happen. And it's just fun to see, the full circle of friendship that can be created in an online community.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have met so many people who have formed relationships, gotten married, have kids, and their whole family now plays together. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's precious.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So.
Amazing. But now I can't play anymore.
I know,
Online games,
now
because I
we
don't
can't
know
play any
Sunday.
more games. Oh, wait.
It's like,
Whoops, sorry.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thanks, Steven.
You're gonna murder every
Changing my name.
Slurpee.
All right, Alex, thank you
Yeah,
so much
thank
for
you so
joining
much.
us.
In the Discord.
I'm sure we'll
I know,
see you
that's
again
true.
on the stream because
That's true.
he works on a lot of really awesome systems.
Yeah.
So we're going to be bringing on design.
Thanks,
Speaking of
Alex.
design, and thank you,
I'll leave the
Alex.
chair for.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
leave the chair.
So, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you guys next month for another Ashes of Creation live stream.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Well, what did you think? We learned some new stuff about capture points and respawning, and we saw a cool video. Oh, if you just want to see the video that Alex brought with him, click on the link up there. I've chopped out just the video section of this video, so you can just watch that if you want to look through it or listen to it again, or just, pause it, zoom in, whatever you'd like. I'll try to get the rest of the Twitchcast out as soon as I can, but it's a busy weekend for me. Computer parts are flying at me from every direction. By this time next week, I should be able to finally build my gaming computer. Yes! No more shoddy laptop for me. Woohoo! If you enjoyed this video, and I hope you did, subscribe. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next part.